Today I want to discuss with you regarding some miracles which may or may not happen in the history. First, we will go to the Old Testament, in which we know the story of Moses saved the Israelites from Egyptians by the order of God. So he tried a lot to save the Israelites, but after a lot of fighting, he wanted the help of God, and God ordered him to dip his walking stick into the river Nile, so that the water of the river Nile will be turned to blood. And it actually happened in that story, and then because of the blood in the river Nile, all the fishes died, and consequently it gives a lot of hardships to Egyptians, and thereby Moses saved Israelites from the clutches of Egyptians. And this is a famous story which we know from Old Testament. Actually, it is happening even now in Nile, even without the presence of Moses, because there is a scientific reason for all these happenings, which is not explained in Old Testament or in Bible, because it will never explain in any religious text, because they just want the miracle to be shown and to be explained in terms of religion only, so that the religious group will get a lot of followers, and thus it can propagate the religion. The real thing is that even now the river Nile changes its color to red sometimes because of the red types of algal bloom. There's a particular kind of algae which can change the color to red, and it spreads throughout the Nile, and when it looks from the bottom it will see like somewhat similar to the blood. So this happened at that time, and that story is shown in such a way that it is the miracle of God. And in all periods, religion always rely upon such gimmicks, so that they want more money from their believers. As the believers number increases, they will get more money. The Pink Lake of Austria is one of the examples, and there are so many other lakes or oceans which turns color like this. There is no particular miracle regarding that. Miracle is a thing which we cannot explain at that particular time. Maybe we don't get any scientific explanation when that thing occurs. Of course, there will be some kind of scientific explanation for every miracle, which is already written in any of the religious books or anywhere. If you think that it's a miracle, it is not a miracle, because once it is explained, it never be a miracle. So this is the first miracle. Then the second miracle which I want to discuss is regarding the story of water changing to wine in Bible. When Jesus went to one of his friends' marriage, there was shortage of wine, and he turned the water which was stored in so many jars there into wine, just by a word. Just changed the water to wine, it changed. So this was the first miracle by Jesus, and because of this miracle, he got a lot of followers. But this is just a story. We know that there is no historic basis for all these Jesus stories. All these are just stories. This is seen only in Johannan's Testament. This story he put into the Bible because the magical tricks which was happening at that time. For example, AD 10, we know about Cyril of Alexandria, who was a scientist, who was an engineer also, who make apparatus to the churches to show to the followers that because of the grace of the God, so many miracles can happen. He invented a glass jar, where if we pour the water into it can change into wine. Actually, it is not changing into wine. The wine is already stored into it, but it will be concealed from the eyes of the onlooker. So, if there is an explanation for all those things, it will not be a miracle. But because of all these things, the churches at that time, even in this time also, gained a lot of followers, which don't have any scientific basis, which they will not explain to the followers. So if you want to check, you can go to the Google and check the Cyril of Alexandria. You can see the so many stories about him, how he invented the miracles or miraculous apparatus by which the churches can show, or the priests in the churches can show to the followers by the grace of the God how many miracles they have already shown to them. So this is second thing, changing of wine to water. And then when it's not only the Christians but also the Hindus and all the other religions, even Muslims, everywhere, all these religions depend upon some kind of miracle, so that the dumb followers will not think about what was beyond that, and they just believe and make their families also followers of the particular religion. We also heard about some kind of weeping statues and bleeding statues in India and also in all over the world. In the 19th century, we know that the science advanced a lot, and along with the science also there was some advancement in the religion also, in the religious superstitions too. In 1800, in some of the churches in Europe, there was a particular phenomenon which occurred in which the statues in the church began to weep, especially the statue of Mary, maybe the statue of Jesus also. It began to weep. So it is a miracle according to them, and it increases the business in that particular area because a lot of people are coming there to see this miracle, which cannot be explained on any basis. So because of this, the church gets a lot of income. That is the main purpose of the church business. So, and also another thing also occurred along with this weeping. Some statues began to bleed the blood. Especially in Christianity, blood would have a much bigger value than any other religion. So how this happens? There was scientific explanation for the weeping. When the scientists look into it, they know that because of the capillary action of the water. We know what is meant by capillary action. It is because of the cohesion, addition, and surface tension. The water will go up through small holes in the wall or any other material. It has got a property to go up. That is called capillary action. So many of these statues, not many, all the statues are near to a dam area where there may be some rainwater may be stored there, or some other kind of water may be stored there, and this water will eventually go through the head, or it will go rise through the statues, and it may go out through the face or through the eyes or nose, anywhere. It is weeping. So that is the real explanation behind all those things. But nowadays we can see some of the statues in India also, especially in churches, where the tears will come only through the eyes. You know how it happened. Why these people are doing is that they want the business to happen more. More people have to come there to see. When they come to see, they will go to the nearby shops and they will give money to the churches also. That is the main reason. And along with this, another thing is that bleeding. So bleeding, how it happens? That bleeding also happens to the same thing. When the liquid have to flow, then there should be a capillary action. But along with the capillary action, there is a bacteria also for the bleeding. That is called Serratia marcinus. The Serratia marcinus is a particular kind of bacteria which is commonly available even in our bathroom. Where there is dampness, this thing will come. In our bathroom, if you don't clean, if the wall happen to be a white tile, okay, and if you don't clean the surface for a long time, if it is near to the tap, first it will change the color to brown. You can see in our almost all the government offices, we can see the wash basin. The color near to the tap will be brown at first, and if you don't clean it for a long time, it will change to red. So if instead of that tap, if there is an idol sitting, if it's a temple, if there is an idol, or if it's a church, if there is an idol or a statue sitting there, people will think that it is a bleeding. It is because it is got the same color of blood. That explains the blood staining or bleeding of statues. This is actually what is happening in Changanur Bhagavati temple. You might have heard about the menstruation that is happening to the Devi or the deity there. It's a stone deity, and how the menstruation happens, right now, because of the Serratia marcinus. That is making the menstruation blood there. Actually, when it is damp, when some cloth is covering that idol, after a long time the dampness will change to the bacteria on it will work. Same as it is working in a bathroom which is not cleaned, and it will change the color to red. And when the deity is looked by a devotee's eyes, he or she will think that the god have got that menstruation problem or menstruation blood is there, and there is a lot of queue to book this cloth in that Bhagavati temple. So, and if it is really the bread, you know how the bread comes there. So of course there is explanation for everything that is happening in a temple or church, anywhere. Whether it is connected to a religious thing, if it's a miracle, then we know that there should be a scientific basis for everything. Unless it is explained, it means that they want it to be a secret. But the people who is making it a show definitely knows that it is just a show to make the income of the institution doubles and also to make the number of devotees more. So my humble request is again to cultivate the scientific temper. Don't go to the Sadgurus or Sri Sris or such stupid peoples, because they will not give you a real advice. They will not show you the path. The path with which you have to go is in you itself. You have to find it out. That is in the scientific way. Think scientifically, and with scientific temper, if you live, it will be a better life.